This is the Greyp G6. Yep, pronounced grape, just like the fruit. It's an all-new electric mountain bike made by Rimac, the Croatian company that built the world's fastest electric cars. This is probably the smartest e-bike in the world. The tech is evolving at such a rapid pace, this e-bike is actually smarter than many of the new electric cars recently released. Featuring integrated front and rear cameras that can retro record the best bits of your ride, a dash-mounted central intelligence module that is the brains of the bike, a 700 watt-hour battery that can deliver up to 100 kilometers on a single charge, anti-theft measures, a motor that connects to your heart to give you help just when you need it, and some crazy new gamification features. Could this be the future of electric mountain biking? Let's catch up with Mate, the CEO of Greyp, and then go for a ride. How long have you been developing the bike for? Tell us a little bit about it, your thoughts and the kind of vision behind the bike and all the technology that's built into it. Looks super exciting.
So the development of the bike itself was relatively easy compared to the development of the whole system and all the technology behind it. So we actually basically developed it for 4 years. The bike itself was developed along the way, and the bike was basically ready a year ago, but we were still working on the technology and on the systems and all the apps, and we are still continuing to do that. And even when the customers get their bikes, it will be updated over the air, get more and more features with time, so it will basically never finish. And the whole idea behind the bike was to bring the user experience of biking much further. So from your own bike that you use here and there, and it's just for you to actually have lots of data and lots of information and content that is helpful for you as the rider, but you can also share, compare yourselves with others, to make games out of it, to compete in real time, create your own challenges, challenge others. So that's the whole thing, like to use sensors and cameras and connectivity to bring biking to the next level, basically.
And what I love about it is once you've bought the bike, it can continue to be updated. So if an owner of this bike takes delivery next month, in a year, it could be a different bike in terms of what it can deliver to the consumer.
Yeah.
So how do you kind of roadmap that out, and what are your thoughts and visions for the next year or couple of years for how the bike might change?
We have so many ideas, you wouldn't believe, and it takes time to execute them, to actually build this stuff. But what we made sure is that the bike has everything that it needs to get updated over time, to get better. So it has all the sensors, all the electronics, all the features can be updated wirelessly. And so some of the things we want to do is, for example, that the bike recognizes the interesting bits of your ride and takes the videos on its own, and you have them ready when you want. So we don't want all of this connectivity and technology to actually burden the rider, but actually it does everything for you behind the scenes. And when you want to look at the ride you had last year, that you can see everything, how your heart rate was, how much energy you put in, how you compared on that ride, on that route to other riders and stuff like that, so that it's basically in the background. And we have so many ideas, especially with the gamification, like how you can, for example, even include virtual reality into it, that the bike with the cameras recognizes things around you, like trees and so on, and gives you challenges based on that. So the possibilities are really endless. It just depends how many software engineers we can find and how little sleep they will get.
Well, that's incredible. I think you're really pushing the industry forward, and there's so many features, like as an owner of a bike, things like the anti-theft that are built into it. I think that's much needed. So thank you for all the work and effort that you've put into building this incredible bike, and I'm really looking forward to going to test it out in the hills and checking out some of the tech and having a really nice ride on this island. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll catch up with you later.
Thanks, and enjoy it.
So at the heart of the bike is the eSIM. It's the dashboard where you are integrated with the bike. So it's got the display, the cameras, front and rear cameras, navigation, all your heart rate info, your power that you're putting through the bike, the power assist levels that the bike's giving you. It's essentially the digital hub of the bike, and Greyp have developed the whole bike around that to really take advantage of the latest innovations in software and hardware. Now, when you buy the bike, you get a heart rate monitor that attaches to your wrist, and that can control the motor. So you can ride and tell the bike that you want a heart rate of 160 beats per minute, constant. And as you're getting into terrain that's harder to ride and your heart rate goes up, the motor gives you more and more assistance. And as your heart rate starts decreasing, then the motor assistance starts decreasing as well. So it's constantly monitoring your body and your heart rate. There's some really cool gamification features built into it as well. You can live stream your ride. So somebody can watch what you're doing live. The bike has an eSIM card. It's always connected to the internet. And there's a deal that they've done with T-Mobile, Deutsche Telekom for 4 years, which means you're gonna have to pay no fees or no data. And essentially it's always connected to the internet. If there's another person that you're riding with, or you've got a few mates that have one of these bikes, or you're testing one, you can then see their ride on your bike. So you can see the distance that they've traveled, the power that they're putting through the motor, and it just introduces a whole new way of integrating with other people live on your ride. One of the things that really interested me is the retro record feature. So if you're out and you've, I don't know, pulled off a good move or crashed or just something interesting has happened, there's a retro record, so you can configure it to record the last 30 seconds, 60 seconds or whatever, and at the press of a button it will have already recorded that footage for you, and it will capture it to the phone on the bars. How cool is that? And one particular feature that I think will appeal to pretty much everyone is the anti-theft stuff that's built into it. So if somebody takes your bike or moves it whilst you're away, it will send you an alert through to your phone. It will also activate the front and rear camera on the bike and beam it through to you, so you can see exactly what is happening. You can even send a text through to the bike to tell someone that you know they're trying to move it or take it without your consent, and it will remotely disable the bike so it becomes useless and you'll be able to see exactly where it is. It's those kind of cool features that I think should be adopted by the whole industry for e-bikes and smart e-bikes, because they're really expensive and you know, you don't want these to get stolen, and if that kind of deterrent can be built into them, I think that's a fantastic feature that hopefully we'll see from loads of e-bike manufacturers. But the way that you can just remotely disable it, see exactly what's happening, I think it just gives you that peace of mind that it's going to be safe and secure, and if the worst case does happen, you're going to know exactly where your bike is at all times because it's just always connected to the internet. So I think it's an amazing piece of innovation, and I think it's really going to help to push the whole industry forward. The frame is full carbon, it's all made in-house by Rimac, who are the parent company. It's 150mm treble front and rear. It's got a motor that is around 460 watts of peak power, so it's not the most powerful motor, but it's there to help with trail riding and cross-country riding, and it is going to give you enough torque to get up most of the hills. It's 18 Newton meters of torque. So we'll have a quick look around the bike, and then we'll go and hit some trails, hit some of the chunkier stuff in this beautiful island in Croatia, and see just how capable the bike is as an actual bike. So 150mm RockShox Lyric. This is the Greyp G6.2. This is €6,999. 27.5 DT Swiss wheels. 150mm front and rear suspension. This is the battery pack here, so it's the 700 watt-hour battery that runs inside the front triangle of the frame. But I want to show you some of the features that are on the SIM. So you can see the camera works there quite well, and you can just toggle through the front and the rear cameras using this little joystick just on here. Fitness, so I haven't got my heart rate tracker on at the moment, but it will show your live heart rate on the display. Navigation, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to see on the GoPro, but if you want to navigate to a route, a particular place, let's say I wanted to go just here, and just long press and it's going to give me the route that I need to take. Potato is what it says on the display, but this is like topography, so it will show you latitude, longitude, distance, and loads of different data that they've mapped in there. But this is the kind of heart of the dashboard, really. It's showing your trip, all your details, all your ride stats, and then you can toggle through. You can see your cadence, the amount of calories that you've used, the amount of power that you're putting through the crank, the maximum amount of power, the motor power, average motor power, and when you're riding, actually, you get a live graph just on there. So the sim is the heart of the bike. It's where everything is integrated. As you can see, the camera just on the front here with the little LEDs, just to give you a tiny little bit of visibility at night, and the one on the rear. There you go. It's quite bright, actually. Dropper, single pivot, actually, on the rear suspension. The motor is really, really quiet. It gives you a real natural feeling, and it is the quietest motor I've heard. It's quieter than the Bros motor. You can barely hear it at all. It's not the longest bike. It is a trail bike, and it is built for comfort and all-day riding. So what we'll do is get kitted up and go and hit the trails. There's some really nice chunky stuff up here, and I want to see how it performs as a bike, just to test out its capabilities on some of these beautiful trails.
We climbed a few thousand feet to the top of one of the island's local trails. I chose to take on one of the more technical descents called Chunky Monkey.
Oh boy, look at that. Oh wow.
The trail was a 15-minute descent with some epic views and some pretty steep edges.
Pretty awesome.
The route had some really rocky sections, some drops, a couple of faster flowy sections, and above all, scenery that makes you realise what an e-bike can help you do. Get outside, discover new places, and soak up some of the most beautiful scenery that the world has to offer. Greyp's philosophy is a little different to a regular mountain bike organisation. Instead of looking at the latest trends in geometry, they've set themselves a challenge to redefine what experiences can be delivered to the rider of a mountain bike. Their target customer might not be a hardcore mountain biker, but someone who enjoys new innovations, exciting new features, and wants to take on all-day adventures.
That was awesome.
The Greyp G6 is setting out a new path for what is possible on an electric bike. Their vision includes some incredible features that you might not think you want or need, but can actually add some more epicness to your all-day ride. Innovation and development in software is still in its infancy for bikes, and I can't wait to see how it develops over the coming years. Greyp are on the cutting edge and taking some big, bold moves with this bike, and it's a sign to the industry that mountain biking could be about to change forever.
Really, really great day, and I love the integration. I love like geeking out on all the tech and all the stuff that comes with the bike, and I think the gamification stuff looks really exciting. The live ride recording is really useful. If you don't want to take out a GoPro, you've got your cameras already built into your bike, and you can just capture those moments that you want to keep and share. And the retro record is a really cool feature. So packed full of innovation, a capable trail bike, great range, great fitness features that are built into it, and I'm sure we'll see many more great things to come from Greyp. So thank you for checking it out. It's been awesome spending time here with the team in Croatia, and I hope you like the video. Subscribe if you do, and I will catch up with you all soon. Take care. Bye.